Hi, so this is me wishing I were in Colorado Springs right now. A brief summary of things. So there are three main points I want to tackle here. What's Headless CMS? Why go headless? And what are some of the Headless CMS in .NET Core space? There are actually plenty of powerful Headless CMS for developing applications out there. But let me just focus on some popular ones, including those I'm familiar with. I think that .NET Core is already a versatile and great framework, but having a CMS will allow for more faster developing times. Hi everyone, just a brief intro about myself. My name is Ruby Jane. I'm a web developer based here in Norway. And here's my lightning talk on Headless CMS in .NET Core. What's old is new again. So what's all this new again? Yes, Headless CMS has been around for some time, but while headless and decoupled architecture are nothing new, the demand for this kind of solution has been increasing in the last few years as companies look to deliver content to locations outside of the standard web browser and into the Internet of Things, or IoT. It is projected that there will be over 40 million IoT devices by 2022. So in short, multi-channel publishing is increasing in complexity, and we need to keep it up with it to thrive. What's Headless CMS? So the term headless comes from the concept of chopping the head, which is the front end, like the website, of the body, which is the back end, for example, the content repository. Headless means that the application is built with an external API. So let's break it down a bit. So this image is what I would say sort of captures the idea of what Headless CMS versus the traditional CMS. The woman is the front end, and the man is the back end, and the waiter is the API. As you can see, the old married couple, which I would imagine used to be a happily contented couple, sort of like the traditional CMS, now prefers to talk to each other via the waiter. Okay, so here's maybe a better picture. Again, unlike a traditional architecture, in a Headless CMS, the front end and back end are completely separate systems. The API given by Headless CMS enables you to distribute content to any channel, gadget, and platform of your choice. And due to this approach, a Headless CMS does not care about how and where content gets displayed, while at the same time making it easier to deliver content to different channels. In the end, being headless has only one focus: storing and delivering structured content. Controlling the connections. Using a Headless CMS, you could push content to just about anything you want, from spa to mobile app to even other CMS. The big promise of Headless CMS is for you to enable to reuse the same content and deliver through different channels. And it lets you create and store content in a repository, but it doesn't take care of the delivery of the content to web pages or apps. It's just raw content, which is available through APIs, usually JSON or XML or just about anything. Creating the API, or application programming interfaces. Over the last decade, APIs have exploded. Essentially, everything is driven through APIs. They are the communication standard now that power everything on the web. So what's an API? Think of it as sort of phone line between two computers or computer programs. It's a way for these two computers to talk to each other and share information, regardless of what handset they're using. And one good example of use case for Headless CMS is when you deliver content to something that is not just a website, or when you don't know the device and all you have is an information API integration with that device. Why go headless? There are many advantages of going headless, but foremost is that you can easily integrate with new technology and innovations. Also, when a front-end system is not tightly coupled to the back-end, there's no need to update the entire system every time. It can be just part of the system. This way, you can easily upgrade and customize your application without compromising performance. And here are some use cases for Headless CMS. Websites created with static site generators, native mobile apps, and you can index your product information on an e-commerce site. So let's go now to Headless CMS in .NET Core. Obviously, I won't be able to mention every Headless CMS or Decoupled CMS in .NET Core because there's really a lot of them and I don't have the time to discuss all of them here. So let me just briefly talk about some of them. Some I have experience working with, and the rest I've heard great things about. And let's start with Orchard Core. Orchard Core can be deployed anywhere, regardless of the platform with container support. It manages content using GraphQL or REST API. Multi-tenant means it offers reusable website templates, making you manage multiple sites with a single installation. CoFoundry. CoFoundry focuses on code-first development. These are the requirements for CoFoundry, and the simplest way to get started is to create a web project using the .NET New Command Line tool. It has Docker support and has implementations for Azure services via a plugin. And this is how to get started with Piranha CMS. Piranha CMS is totally package-based using NuGet and can be easily started up with that new template like this. Squidx. So like other Headless CMS mentioned here, Squidx is also an open source and offers a rich API with OData filter and Swagger definitions. And it has Docker support. It offers good documentation and samples on these sites if you're interested to learn more about it. Last but not the least is Umbraco Hardcore. Umbraco is actually a well-known open source CMS, and Hardcore is its full headless CMS option. It has a built-in managed API, so all your content is automatically exposed via REST API. It offers webhooks and GraphQL API, and it ships CDN capabilities using Cloudflare. Like I said, there's still a lot of headless and decoupled architecture out there. And these are just the ones I'm a little bit familiar with myself. And it's up to you to research more about it and decide for yourself what best fit your business requirements. Now here's the N million crooner, or $1 million question for you. So we all just start chopping off the head? Of course, it has to be said that the Headless CMS is not the magical thingy that can fit every business requirements. But I think that chopping off the presentation layer and making your content available to one more than platform should be a consideration whenever possible or applicable. But that's all for now. I appreciate you guys for listening, and thanks to Colorado Springs Tech on Conference for this opportunity. And as we say here in Norway, ha det bra, bye, stay safe and well.